Hi, this is the National Weather Service with an important video briefing. We're covering the strong winter storm expected tonight or Sunday night through Monday night. Here's what we'll be covering. This is not your run-of-the-mill windstorm for the winter. This is significantly above normal in terms of wind speeds expected at the coast, mountains, east of the Cascades, those three areas. And so we expect very strong winds. We'll get into that detail about that some. We expect heavy snow. We don't expect a low elevation snow event, maybe some snow on the tail end of this in the lower elevations, lower passes, but predominantly heavy snow in the mountains and in and around Mount Shasta City, and then portions of areas east of the Cascades. And then lastly, flooding potential. We're going to talk about that. Snow levels will rise. We have some snowpack in the lower elevations, and we expect some potential for flooding. We have aerial flood watches out and coastal flood advisory as well. So first, we are going to talk about the strong winds. A couple unique things: that the magnitude of the winds expected, up to hurricane force gusts, which is 75-mile-per-hour gusts at the coast, and the coverage area is going to be very large as well. Well to the east of the Cascades, we're expecting very strong winds. So some of the impacts: power outages, very dangerous travel, tree fall. And additionally, we'll have gusty winds over many other areas. There'll be some valleys that are sheltered from these winds, but many will experience gusty winds into tomorrow night. Let's briefly talk about the most dangerous wind impact areas. These are places where, life and property are at risk. And this includes the coastal areas until around 1 p.m. Monday. Again, hurricane force wind gusts possible, 75 miles per hour, and just going to be dangerous travel. Some of this will be when rain is falling, and definitely expect power outages. The other areas, all mountain areas, are included in this the most dangerous wind impact areas. And then portions of the east side and the Shasta Valley towards Weed. So those areas, you can see the timing: Monday morning through Monday evening. Of course, a little shorter period in near Weed, California, of Monday morning. Hurricane force wind gusts possible as well in these areas. And many of those, that second box from the Cascades east, will experience some snow and blowing snow as well. So very low visibility occurring in those areas, which will add to the already significant hazard that exists. Here are the range of forecast wind gusts possible. Some very significant numbers you'll note here. Crater Lake, the high Cascades, exposed areas, gust 80 to 100 miles per hour in the exposed, ridges in those areas. To the coast, there's those hurricane force wind gusts possible, 75 miles per hour, all along the coast. And you can see Mount Ashland as well, Cedar Pass, some of those really high winds affecting those exposed mountain areas. Some of the passes will be affected as well with gusty winds. And you can see Weed area. It's not shown here on the map specifically. Certainly could gust to 60 miles per hour or greater there along Interstate 5. So very windy conditions expected through Monday night. Now, on to the snow impacts. We expect, again, this isn't your just run-of-the-mill winter storm in terms of snow either. A couple reasons why that's not the case. One is we're expecting snowfall rates to approach 2 to 4 inches per hour in the high Cascades, and that's not normal. That is very significant, even for those areas that get a lot of snow anyway. And some blizzard conditions are expected. Occasional, very low visibility expected, high Cascades, from Crater Lake north, Highway 97 north of Chiloquin. And additionally, the snow and wind will combine for areas east of the Cascades and Shasta Valley too for hazardous conditions there. So this is a lot of snow will combine with wind to cause significant impacts. We're going to highlight the very most dangerous snow impact area here in the blue, basically the Cascades, about Highway 140 northward, and generally north of Chiloquin along Highway 97, maybe Chemult area specifically, but any of those areas could be impacted. And this is where the snowfall rates will be so high, 2 to 4 inches per hour, those very gusty winds, tree fall, zero visibility at times. So again, life and property significantly at risk in these areas. Here is the expected snowfall from 4 a.m. Monday to 4 a.m. Tuesday. Again, more than 2 feet possible in less than 24 hours, or in 24 hours there, Diamond Lake, Crater Lake. And east of the Cascades, significant snowfall. Much of this will be accompanied by wind, as you see in the mountains. So again, making this a particularly dangerous winter storm. I'm going to pause here and go over to a couple tools to show to highlight the winter impacts, the snow impacts. If you go to our website, weather.gov/Medford or MFR, we're going to scroll on down. I'm going to go to the winter forecast information. And here, it's first going to pop up kind of whatever hazards are going on right now. And we're going to click on the probabilistic snowfall forecasts. Again, here is the expected snowfall, 4 a.m. Monday to 4 a.m. Tuesday. But I did want to just highlight how significant the high-end amount could be, right? Up to 4 feet of snow possible at Crater Lake. That's a 10% chance of occurring. 1 in 10 chance is the high-end amount. But I want to caveat, Medford, we are not expecting snow here. This is kind of just a challenge with the resolution of this, but so not expected snow in the low elevations, but that's the high-end amount. Key in on the Cascades, east of the Cascades, Northern California. And you can see the low-end amount. That's pretty remarkable. If you see the low-end amount of close to 2 feet, that's the low end, 90% chance that we'll see more than that at Crater Lake. So again, high impact snowfall. And the other thing I wanted to show you, this is the Winter Storm Severity Index. I want to pull up I'm going to click on that image and then pull up the combined. I'm going to choose Medford. And I'm going to go day 1 to 3, just combined here. What's the biggest impact we can see? And that's where you see these extreme impacts, generally, again, like Highway 140 northward over the Cascades, east to Chemult. And you can see Klamath Falls is kind of on the edge of this moderate and minor impact. So Klamath Falls could see significant winter impacts from this. I-5, you see that kind of in the moderate to major impact down there. And then in Lake County, you can see where we're going to see a lot of wind and snow occurring. Blowing snow, very low visibility, drifting of snow, that kind of thing is expected. All right, we're going to go back to our briefing now. And we're going to move on to flooding concerns. So we're going to have multiple fronts moving through all the way through the week, really. Our heaviest precipitation looks like to be Monday into Monday evening. We have an aerial flood watch out generally for areas west of the Cascades, and that's where we see potential for small creeks and streams to flood. And that's partially due to we've got some snowpack in the lower elevation areas or mid elevation areas that could melt with snow levels, 4,000 feet or so with this storm, and some very heavy precipitation. The forecast for main stem rivers, such as the Coquille, Rogue, Umpqua, keep it below flooding, but significant rises are expected. And then we've got another rain event with higher snow levels Tuesday afternoon through Tuesday night. So I want to briefly show you the river gauges or river forecasts here. All right, I'm going to go back to our web page here. Click on our area, and then we're going to click on the rivers and lakes. And I'm just going to go through a few of these hydrographs or river forecasts to take a peek at them. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to start with Deer Creek at Roseburg. I think this tells the picture nicely of the timing for when these creeks could rise significantly. And you can see it peaks out there, looks like 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So that's, rivers are going to, and streams going to rise significantly tomorrow into tomorrow afternoon. And you can see this it's close to minor flooding. Next river we'll take a peek at will be the Coquille at Coquille. Click on that. You can see here, this is because the extended duration, the long duration of rainfall expected at the coast, not expected to reach action stage or minor flooding. However, you can see it significantly rising, and we'll keep an eye on that for sure. Next, we'll go to Rogue at Grants Pass. Let that load. Having trouble loading, let's try that again. Okay. We'll click on that here. And you can see we're not expecting flooding on the main stem river like the Rogue River, but significant rises, right? 2.25 feet now, rising up to 7 feet or so. Lastly, Rogue at Agnes represents a little more significant rises, more rainfall towards the coast. We'll click on this, and you can see it rising up to 11 feet, action stage 14 feet, minor flooding 17 feet. So significant rises. The last thing I'll show you is kind of just the idea that we've got multiple atmospheric rivers pushing into our area. So this is for the event tonight into Monday. You can see here's Oregon here, and this represents just a couple of the ensemble here, lots of different potential solutions, the average of that, and then another model. They're in a good agreement here tomorrow, early on, first push of significant moisture into the coast, and then a little bit of break, then another one coming on Tuesday, into Tuesday nights, point aimed right at us, and then maybe a little break as it moves to the north. So again, long-term rainfall potential that we'll keep an eye on. Thank you very much for your time, and please stay tuned to our website, weather.gov/Medford, and I hope you have a good night.